you've written a book called The Emotion Code, which is like a bestseller around the world.
Looks like this.
Yes, yes, that's it. All the science, all the Western science behind it, but as well as all the ancient understanding from the Eastern philosophy on how the meridian, the chi, the prana, and why it all works. And I love it. And as well as all the examples on why it works. If I was to test myself, like I wouldn't know what to ask after that and how do I heal myself. But you've formulated such a simple manner on how to guide us to heal ourselves. So how do you come up with the emotion code?
Well, it is really simple. And the emotion code came about over the years that I was in practice, just trying to help my patients. I had been introduced very early on before I actually opened my own practice. I worked with another doctor, and he had learned a method called emotional erase, where if a person is feeling an intense emotion, you can rub up and down here on the governing meridian to help to assuage that emotional energy. So that was interesting, but it didn't really seem all that useful. And so, but then as time went on, as I studied more and was exposed to more that was going on out there in the world, I began to realize that emotional baggage is something that can be found and can be released. So I had my own laboratory, really. I had my own practice for 17 years in a brick and mortar practice, and then a couple more years in a remote practice where I was working on people at a distance. But I was always really alone in my practice, just working by myself, one-on-one with patients. And so it was really a perfect laboratory for me to be able to test out theories and find things. And the biggest key really to all of this was I had learned at a very young age that there is a higher power that we can draw upon. And, you know, we all have different names. If we believe in a higher power, we might refer to that as the creator or God or source energy or the universe or whatever. But to me, that higher power is very personal and very real. I had a very profound experience when I was 15 years old, and I learned that that higher power is really what you might call God, our Father, this energy, this being that loves us all with an immense love that we can't really comprehend. And that's the reason why this world exists and why we're all here. It's all about our progress because God wants us to progress and have joy. So I had this habit of asking for help. Now, during all the years that I was in practice, no one ever knew that I was pausing for just a moment and asking for help from God, just saying a silent prayer for that person. But I was. And there were times during all of those years, on rare occasions, when somebody would come in to see me and I didn't know how to approach their problem, or I felt like I really needed more guidance. There were times when, in response to that silent, short prayer, just a momentary pause, where the information would flood into me like an avalanche, really, of understanding, like a big download. And sometimes it was ways of thinking about things and conceptualizing things that I had never really considered before.